about giant structures, let's take a look at the majestic Queen Mary, which, although she tends to be somewhat overshadowed these days by more modern liners, still makes a magnificent picture as she eases her way into Southampton after another Atlantic crossing. However, on this occasion, she's going into dry dock for one of her twice-yearly overhauls. The King George V dry dock is generally recognized to be the largest in the world. Yet even so, the task of positioning a giant liner so that she will rest snugly in her steel cradle is a matter of the highest skill. In fact, the ship must settle to within an inch of the calculated position. The dock has already been emptied of its 58 million gallons of water so that the cradle could be constructed, refilled, and when the liner is in its place, emptied again. However, as this takes several hours, the cleaning of the parts above water goes on. Only now does one get an impression of her immenseness, while, in contrast, the insignificance of man is emphasized by the fact that the concrete floor on which they're standing is 25 feet thick. In the circumstances, this wash and brush up is a vast operation in its own right. Is it worth all that effort, we wonder? After all, you can't see below the waterline. It takes a lot of power to propel 81-odd thousand tons of ship, and each of the 4 massive propellers weighs 32 tons. That's more than the radio masts we saw before. If it's statistics you're interested in, one could go on for hours. However, we'll merely mention that if the Queen Mary was stood on end, she'd be nearly 3 times the height of St. Paul's, and 40 feet taller than the Eiffel Tower, and that's a lot of ship. She may not be as young as she was, but she certainly kept her beauty.